Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mr. Bear's YouTube Agriculture University. I'm your lecturer, Karin Natsuki. Let's study together today. Continuing from last time, today we'll delve into the basics of umami. Previously, we learned about the different ingredients that contain umami components such as glutamic acid, inosinic acid, and guanylic acid, and their varying levels of umami intensity. If you haven't watched the previous lecture, please check it out. Today, we'll study the synergistic effect of umami. Have you ever heard of the synergistic effect of umami? It refers to the phenomenon where combining different umami components results in a heightened perception of umami. What does this mean? Umami has a characteristic where, after a certain point, increasing its quantity no longer increases its intensity. For example, glutamic acid, one of the umami components, increases the perception of umami up to a certain amount. However, beyond that amount, the perception of umami does not intensify. This is different from other basic tastes like sweetness or saltiness. For instance, the more sugar you add, the sweeter it gets, and the more salt you add, the saltier it becomes. However, with umami, adding more beyond a certain point does not increase its intensity. So, how can we express umami more strongly or bring out a strong umami flavor using fewer umami components? This is where the synergistic effect of umami comes into play. It has long been known that adding different umami components enhances the perception of umami. It is especially said that combining amino acid-based umami components with nucleic acid-based umami components strengthens umami. A well-known example of umami synergy is the combination of glutamic acid, an amino acid-based umami component, and inosinic acid, a nucleic acid-based umami component. In Japanese cuisine, the combined broth of kelp and dried bonito flakes forms the foundation of many dishes. This combined broth, made from the glutamic acid in kelp and the inosinic acid in dried bonito flakes, creates a synergistic effect of umami, enhancing the umami perception. You're probably curious about how much stronger the umami can get. The strength of umami changes depending on the ratio of glutamic acid to inosinic acid. The strongest umami is perceived when these two are combined in a 1-to-1 ratio. When glutamic acid and inosinic acid are combined in a 1-to-1 ratio, the perceived umami is said to increase by 7 to 8 times. That's amazing, isn't it? Have you ever noticed that sometimes, even though you use the same ingredients as usual, the food tastes exceptionally delicious? It might be because the combination of glutamic acid and inosinic acid in the ingredients achieve the golden ratio of 1-to-1. Moreover, the synergistic effect of umami is not limited to the combination of glutamic acid and inosinic acid. The combination of glutamic acid, an amino acid-based umami component, and guanylic acid, a nucleic acid-based umami component, is also known to enhance umami. Guanylic acid, a stronger umami component than glutamic acid, is abundantly found in dried shiitake mushrooms. When glutamic acid and guanylic acid are combined, the perceived umami can increase by up to 20 times. That's incredible! Furthermore, what happens when we combine glutamic acid, inosinic acid, and guanylic acid? Using these three major umami components together is known to produce an even stronger synergistic effect of umami, with the perceived umami increasing by up to 30 times. 30 times stronger umami, that's amazing! You'd want to verify the difference for yourself, wouldn't you? Previously, we introduced a comment from a dried shiitake mushroom producer in Miyazaki Prefecture, who mentioned that sprinkling a little dried shiitake mushroom powder on fish when making kobyajime significantly enhances the umami. Kelp is rich in glutamic acid, fish in inosinic acid, and dried shiitake mushrooms in guanylic acid. Using these together creates a synergistic effect of umami, allowing you to perceive a stronger umami. So far, we've discussed the synergistic effect of umami involving glutamic acid, inosinic acid, and guanylic acid. There are other substances that contribute to umami, right? Previously, we introduced aspartic acid, adenylate, and succinic acid as umami components. Do these also produce a synergistic effect of umami? According to research, these components do not produce a strong umami synergistic effect compared to glutamic acid, inosinic acid, and guanylic acid. Therefore, when we talk about the synergistic effect of umami, we mainly refer to the combinations of glutamic acid and inosinic acid, and glutamic acid and guanylic acid. By the way, what kind of effects can we expect from the synergistic effect of umami? Umami provides a sense of satisfaction when eating. Enhancing umami through the synergistic effect can make you feel full with less food. As a result, the synergistic effect of umami can help with dieting. Additionally, enhancing umami can reduce the need for salt without compromising taste, leading to reduced salt intake. The synergistic effect of umami offers health benefits such as aiding in dieting and reducing salt intake. Now, let's talk about dishes that utilize the synergistic effect of umami. First, Ichiban Dashi. Ichiban Dashi is a combined broth made by extracting umami components from kelp and dried bonito flakes, resulting in a broth rich in glutamic acid and inosinic acid. Using approximately 1 part kelp to 1.6 parts dried bonito flakes extracts a 1:1 ratio of glutamic acid and inosinic acid, achieving the maximum synergistic effect of umami. This results in umami perceived as 7 to 8 times stronger. Here's how to make Ichiban Dashi. First, add 30 grams of kelp to 1.8 liters of water in a pot and heat to 60 degrees Celsius. Maintain this temperature for 30 minutes to 1 hour to extract the kelp. This creates kelp dashi. Be careful not to exceed 80 degrees Celsius to avoid unpleasant smells and off flavors. After making the kelp dashi, remove the kelp and heat the broth to 85 degrees Celsius. Add 50 grams of dried bonito flakes, turn off the heat immediately, and strain the bonito flakes. This completes the Ichiban Dashi, which can be used in various dishes such as clear soups, chawanmushi, and dashimaki tamago. It also pairs well with dishes like ohitashi, nibatashi, koya tofu, and furofuki daikon. Ichiban Dashi is often used alongside Niban Dashi. Niban Dashi is made using the leftover ingredients from Ichiban Dashi. While Ichiban Dashi is extracted delicately at low temperatures, Niban Dashi is made by boiling the leftovers at higher temperatures. Add the leftover kelp and bonito flakes to a pot and boil for 5 minutes to extract the umami components. Niban Dashi, compared to Ichiban Dashi, has a less aromatic flavor but contains concentrated umami. It is perfect for dishes like takikomi gohan, namono, and miso soup. Niban Dashi includes the flavors and umami components from the kelp and bonito flakes, making it suitable for strongly flavored dishes. Therefore, it is ideal for dishes like saba miso enai, nikujaga, and oden. So, today we study the synergistic effect of umami. Isn't the synergistic effect of umami fascinating? Combining glutamic acid and inosinic acid, or glutamic acid and guanylic acid, enhances umami. Combining glutamic acid and inosinic acid can increase the perceived umami by 7 to 8 times. The key was to use a 1-to-1 ratio of glutamic acid to inosinic acid. Additionally, combining glutamic acid and guanylic acid can increase umami up to 20 times. Furthermore, combining glutamic acid, inosinic acid, and guanylic acid can increase umami up to 30 times. The synergistic effect of umami can also have health benefits. Umami provides a sense of satisfaction, aiding in dieting. Also, enhancing umami allows for reduced salt intake without compromising taste, providing a salt reduction benefit. Utilizing the synergistic effect of umami has beneficial health effects. Lastly, we also studied Ichiban Dashi and Niban Dashi. These are representative examples of cooking that utilize the synergistic effect of umami. Ichiban Dashi is a delicately extracted broth, suitable for light dishes like clear soups. Niban Dashi is a stronger broth, ideal for hearty dishes like stews and simmered dishes. So, this concludes our second lecture on the basics of umami. Wasn't the synergistic effect of umami interesting? Try incorporating the synergistic effect of umami into your daily cooking. Just being aware of the synergistic effect can make your dishes remarkably more delicious. Next time, we'll continue discussing umami. See you again in the next lecture. Goodbye. For now.